So there's a lot of new people who are here on my account, and I did not realize this, and I did not predict this. Okay, uh, magically, I somehow went from 150 all the way up to 230 something. I think I'm not entirely sure, but this is for all the new people who came, and I don't really know how to address everyone. I just want to say thank you, and by now you should start being able to hear something that I can hear. This is just an example of what it's like to live in my shoes. And for all of you new people who are here, hi. Uh, this is awkward. So let me just introduce myself and explain some things about myself while you experience what it's like to be me. I am a strange kid in the middle of an ocean. That may sound weird. I'm just an introverted kid who lives on Hawaii in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of nowhere. Honestly, nowhere in the middle of the Pacific freaking Ocean. And I have been diagnosed with a psychotic mental disorder, as well as two anxiety disorders and some other things that I'm not going to get into. It's a bit more dodgy information, kind of strange information, and it's not really what I want to go into. Anyway, I just wanted to take you into the world of this psychotic disorder that I have. So, as you can obviously tell, things aren't normal. Things are very, very strange. I mean, you being able to hear these things automatically makes my voice so much more harder to hear, which is exactly what it's like for me. I exist in a state known as psychosis, where someone is disconnected from reality. A disconnection from reality essentially means being experiencing something with one of your five senses that isn't actually there. This is caused by a over release, I think, in abundance, a surplus of dopamine inside your brain, which affects the ways that you see, smell, taste, feel, and hear. And it is something that I've been struggling with for virtually my entire life, but it really became debilitating in sixth grade. I'm in college, so I'm far from sixth grade right now. When it came down to it, I really needed a saving grace. And I found that saving grace when I was sent into a mental hospital. I was sent onto one of the two mental hospitals in Hawaii, and man, was it something. I spent my entire days learning about mental health, learning about other people, learning about how to cope and stuff like that. But then I was discharged, and things kind of went south from there. I was put, not recently, I was put last year on a drug called Geodon, and Geodon threw my world into a living hell. Because Geodon's side effects are genuinely horrifying. They made me want to kill myself. They made me want to jump off a roof. They made me want to choke myself. They made me want to take a razor and slit my own wrist. I took a knife and I held it to my throat and I promised to myself, maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. I make a promise with you right now. You won't. You won't. I know you won't. It was a very tough time. But it was nothing compared to withdrawals from Geodon. Withdrawals from Geodon threw my life into chaos, even more chaos than it was before. Because when you're put on psychiatric medication, there's a base level, there's a maximum level, and you can be anywhere throughout the entirety of the spectrum, I guess. For me, I was put all the way up to 60 milligrams, but because of an acute dystonic reaction, we went down to 40. And then, well, before I was put on 60 milligrams twice a day, I had to, well, I had to take 40 milligrams twice a day. And those 40 milligrams would knock me out. But my condition was getting worse, so we went up to 60 milligrams, but then I had an acute dystonic reaction. Yeah, it was not fun. Acute dystonic reaction is where you have these involuntary muscle movements. So for me personally, it felt like somebody was grabbing the top and bottom parts of my mouth, my jaw, and ripping it. And it was a very strange sensation. It hurt. It hurt a lot. I went to the emergency room. They put a shot of Benadryl and Banofen and I want to say benchtropine. They shot it up in my ass. I didn't expect them to put the needle in my ass cheek, but they did. It's kind of awkward. I'm just standing there with my family surrounding me, and the nurse, she's like, "Okay, I have these syringes. We're just gonna inject them in a place where your body will metabolize them quicker." And she's like, "Okay, put on your pants." I'm like, "Wait, I'm pulling down my pants. Yes, we're gonna put it into your buttocks. And I was like, alrighty then. But yeah, withdrawals sent my world into an absolute train wreck. And while I was going through withdrawals, I started to find other ways to cope. I've always been very critical of myself, and my family's always been very critical of me, and I never knew how to change it until I learned about something that certain people said helped them, and let's just say it's an eating disorder and leave it at that. I'm not going to go into detail about that kind of stuff because we're going to be talking about psychosis. Psychosis really, the illness itself caused less problems than the medication. I mean, countless days without sleep, countless waking hours, not even being able to tell the difference between who's actually calling your name and what's in your head. It's very tricky, but I would rather experience that than the burning sensation of pain being with my mouth being torn open, or the sleepiness that is so debilitating, or even the akathisia or the tardive dyskinesia. I would rather be on my own without medication than go through tardive dyskinesia or akathisia again. And those both, just like acute dystonic reactions, those both are uncontrolled muscle movements, contractions, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my story. I was hospitalized again for my psychosis and my eating disorder, and then I was hospitalized a third time because the doctors thought I should be hospitalized again. I'm not entirely sure as to why, but yeah, that's me. Hi. Okay, it's kind of went off subject, and I talked a lot about Geodon, but I hope you all enjoy, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ahui ho malamo pono.